Dear friends, in this video I am going to tell about actions of insulin. The first action of insulin is storage of fuel. We know glucose is the fuel of our body, so insulin helps in storage of glucose in the form of glycogen. Glucose, the action of insulin converted to glycogen. Glycogen stored in our body for fuel purpose, and in deficiency of glucose, glycogen converted to glucose. You know the hormone that convert glycogen to glucose? Yes, that is glucagon. Then the second action of insulin is facilitate glucose transport. Insulin facilitates the transport of glucose inside the cell. So this is the glucose, suppose, and here is the cell, and let's take this is the insulin receptor. If insulin binds to the receptor, then it allows translocation of GLUT transporter to the cell surface, and the GLUT transporter in the cell surface is embedded on the action of insulin. Now GLUT transporter translocated to the cell surface, and now glucose can enter inside the cell. The third function is facilitates glycogen synthesis. Under the action of insulin, glucose can be converted to glycogen. Glucose converted to glycogen. We know various types of enzymes are required to convert glucose to glycogen. What insulin does? Insulin enhances the action of or influence the actions of enzymes like glycogen synthetase. By enhancing the action of glycogen synthetase, glucose converted to glycogen, and it inhibits the action of the enzyme involved in glycogenolysis. Insulin inhibits the action of enzyme involved in glycogenolysis, means glycogen to glucose, and enhances the action of glycogenesis or glycogen synthesis. The fourth function of insulin is inhibits lipolysis. Insulin, suppose this is lipocyte. Under the influence of insulin, lipocytes cannot release fatty acids, free fatty acids, and triglyceride to the blood. So under the influence of insulin, free fatty acid and free fatty acid level will low in blood. If insulin is not present, or in diabetes mellitus, type 1 diabetes mellitus, there is an increased chance of increase in free fatty acid level in the blood. The fifth function of insulin is facilitate amino acid entry into the muscles. Insulin is a anabolic hormone. It allows entry of amino acids inside the muscles. So if amino acids enters inside the muscles under the influence of insulin, the amino acid enter inside the muscles, that will lead to more protein synthesis inside the muscles. And if insulin is not present, then that leads to protein wasting in the muscles. DNA mediated, the sixth function is DNA mediated synthesis of glucose transporter. The another action of insulin is it synthesizes the GLUT transporter. GLUT transporter. There are various types of GLUT transporters inside inside the cell. Different cells have different types of GLUT transporters, and insulin mediates the influence the DNA from, suppose this is the cell and this is the nucleus and this is the genetic material. Insulin influence the genetic material to synthesize mRNA. From mRNA, new protein, and that protein is a GLUT transporter. After folding, that protein converted to GLUT transporter. What GLUT transporter do? GLUT transporter allows the entry of glucose inside the cell. So if you can imagine now, if insulin is not present, then GLUT transporter will not be translated. DNA mediated synthesis of GLUT transporter will not, glucose transporter will not produce, and that will leads to does not entry of, that will leads to no entry of glucose inside the cell, and that leads to hyperglycemia, increased blood glucose level. Thank you for watching.